Hello, everybody. This is Justin Case from American Newscape. Joining our friend, media personality Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of American Mentoring. Hello, Jerry. Welcome back to American Newscape.
I'm such a freaking goofball.
Well,
How are
Jerry,
you, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. Consistency is part of the battle, and you've got consistency
Yeah,
down. I mean, we can count on you.
it could. it could yeah, my craziness, and I live this every day, guys. So wait, now that I screwed up my phone, give me a second. There we go.
All right,
Got to
all right.
straighten Jerry out a little bit.
Uh,
We're good. We're good.
okay, Jerry, let's put this year to bed in the next few days. So,
Yeah.
Jerry, tonight, happiness. What's happening
hmm
with happiness?
I've gotten to the point at work. I got about 20 associates I got to monitor, and you can concur on this from being in the leadership field. I've got down to drawing pictures on what I need done because they're not listening to the words I'm saying. They're literally, I'm drawing little people figures, and I'm like, you got to do this way and that way. It's amazing how people lose track of the sight of understanding that a metaphor is if you use a metaphor in life, and I want to give you guys a quick metaphor on happiness, it'll help you guys. You start living by metaphors, you remember them a lot easier. And yeah, are you a pilot, by the way, Meatball?
No, I'm not a pilot, and we're grateful
I
for that.
know what the hell. Well,
The
I'm
world,
not either, but I know the four principles of it, and it's a great metaphor to live by with people who are experiencing so-called unhappiness or not being themselves. And basically, the four principles are weight, thrust, drag, and lift. But when you start thinking about your happiness in life, you understand what weighs you down is not going to make you happy. In other words, people, your thought process, what's thrusting you forward, your purpose, what makes you happy in life. You keep focusing on that, and you can only attract to you the happiness you want in life. Drag, what's holding you back? Is it how you're thinking every day? It's your past experiences. When you start releasing that and understanding and acknowledging what's dragging your life and what's holding you back, you'll realize where you're going. And very simply, the last part of this metaphor of the principles of flight, it kind of makes sense because flight is rising and growing. This is a great metaphor to live by if you want to rise and grow as well. The last one is lift. What lifts you up? What makes you happy? Doing stuff like this between you and I and my shows on Facebook Live and the media work that I do is such an inspiration for me, not only to share it with people, but to understand it for myself. And with the new year coming up and you guys going into this, resolution ritual, I get it, Meatball. I used to do that stuff, but I basically live by the four principles every day of learning how to fly. And it's an amazing analogy of self. It may seem complex because you really got to think about what you're thinking about, but indeed, how do you solve your problems? Did you figure out what you're thinking about?
well, you're exactly right, Jerry, and happiness should be something we aspire to every day.
Absolutely.
And
Peace.
it's actually it makes life easier. I
God,
mean,
yeah. The clarity is power.
which
When you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Like, remember you were doing to me on the pre-show.
well, exactly. I heard that
When,
word
when,
happiness.
when you have clarity in your thoughts and a direction and a purpose, you let go of what's dragging you. You let go of what's weighing you down without any repercussions because you're saying, wait, this doesn't fit my narrative. If people stop living by the story that they've been through, instead of creating the story that they want to go through, they're never going to take off in life.
Well, and music's always been important for me, and I use it as a form of metaphors. And with your intro, I thought of Ghostbusters 2. I thought of the entire city of New York singing, Your love will lift me higher to get rid of drive the Statue of Liberty, driving all those ghosts out of New York, and that was the
Where
power.
do you
Well,
come up with this stuff?
that was the power of happiness. Well,
Indeed,
my
indeed.
hamster
I'm just kidding.
my hamster hits his head on the rung every once in a while, and he thinks of
I
such
love
things.
so unorthodox. I love it. We're so unique and so pitiful, but
Yeah,
it's all in good fun, man. It is. It's all in good fun, and you weight, thrust, drag, and the lift. I mean, you find out what's weighing you down, what's lifting you up. This is what people don't realize. They're too busy conforming to the outside world. And you and I mentioned sheeple, many times,
yeah.
and then not as an insult. It's just, why aren't people being authentic? Authenticity is one of the most powerful frequencies that leave the body. Not love, not sex, meatball. That's actually an act. It's not none of that. It's authenticity. It's being your true self.
Well,
When
I
you
don't.
when you are, go ahead.
No. We think about it. We should find the person that coined the phrase "go along to get along." Think of the disservice they've done to us. Think of the
Mm.
disservice.
No, yeah. Well, like I said, it's a great. They call it revelation in scripture. It's you understanding. It's your epiphany. You know what I mean? Not everybody's going to get it all at once. That's why I was drawing pictures at work, because some people get it, some people don't. And I was actually kidding about that. But when people realize the true power that they have and they can direct their thoughts by expunging what doesn't fit and start understanding who they are, they're going to realize where they're going. What's that OJ thing? If it doesn't fit, you must
OJ. OJ.
acquit. Come on, dude. You don't remember history, meatball. What's the matter with you?
The name's kind of familiar. The name's kind of
I know,
familiar.
right? OJ, you're thinking citrus. I'm thinking guy who.
No. Now, if you'd have said Johnny Cochran, I'd have known where you were going with that.
Oh, I got the history wrong, so I'm the meatball now. I get it. So I even got it wrong. Okay.
No. If
That-
you could have had
that
me
on me.
visualize a stupid guy trying to put on gloves, standing up there like he was in total
Remember?
disarray. It
For
was.
all our youngins out there, yeah, this was many moons ago. And I even got the history lesson wrong, so I better draw some pictures, man.
Well, yeah, we would love to see some of your hieroglyphs, because think, they're going to come back 5,000 years from now. They're going to see your writings on the bakery wall, and they're going to think it
Oh yeah,
signified something important.
yeah, that's been that way for the past month of 7-day work weeks, indeed. But it makes me happy. You bring up a great point. I'm just doing what makes me happy. Here I am working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, trying to fit in some shows with Facebook Live, fitting in a show with you every single week. You can't tell it's affecting me because I'm doing only what I love to do. And sadly, it took 40 years to figure out. But in a way, it's great because the wisdom is priceless.
No,
And you
absolutely.
talked about peace. You talked about peace in the beginning, how your Christmas was. Indeed, you start living that way every day. It's phenomenal.
Well, and celebrate productivity. I mean, we aspire to be productive, and there's no reason not to celebrate it.
Hey, well, you have a choice. You can be productive for somebody else as an employee or a servant, or you can be productive for your future, your destiny, because we are our own self-fulfilling prophecy. You pick and choose your poison. You want to go in your direction, or with thoughts and meaning and purpose in life, or do you want to go in direction of somebody else's thoughts, meanings, and purpose in life?
Well, yeah, but you can still be productive working for others.
If you're content,
For
indeed, if that makes
for
you happy, I'm
yourself,
very
for your
happy doing
fellows.
that.
No, exactly,
Oh
for
yeah,
yourself. You can still live by your creed, so to speak, and still be productive for
indeed.
others, and find your place, and find your bliss. Let's throw in some other silly, but go along to get
Oh no,
along.
you're absolutely right. I mean, I've been on both sides of the coin. I've done my own self-employment, owning a bakery, and then I've worked for one. And I realized I like owning it. I just didn't like the lifestyle along with it. I said, wait, I can still have my happiness by working for someone, being very productive, being very happy, and indeed pursuing my new evolution of goals, which is media. So this is what I mean. It's all about self-analysis and understanding what brings you up and what brings you down. When you start understanding what's dragging your life, you realize to let it go. When you realize what's weighing you down, you realize to take it off, whether in thought, in feeling, whatever it might be. Then you start working on the thrust and the lift of your thoughts and your feelings every day. You can not only just bring the best for you.
Right. And if we use our theory of baby steps, can we suggest that people look for to eliminate that one thing that may be dragging them down consistently?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. A lot of people, and you and I can attest. And I'm not going to say what's dragging a lot of people down because I'll probably get a lot of hate mail on it. Whether it's, I'm not going to say it. So I don't want to get any hate mail. But when people make the conscious choice, all I can say is, my ex-wife and I, we have a great relationship. It just didn't work out. But she had a lot more power than I did by making the choice that, look, yeah, I know we have this situation here, but I'm not happy anymore. Even though it was devastating on my end, it was what I wanted too. I was just afraid to make the move. But that move that she made opened the door to her being herself and me being myself and doing it in a productive way. Did it take a long time? Yeah, because I wouldn't let go of what was weighing me down. I wouldn't let go of what was dragging me along. I realized it was the best gift because it made everybody happy in the process. And that's just one side of the coin from a personal level. And some people have to realize that on their own personal level. What's dragging them down? What's weighing them down? Situations, work, circumstances. You make the move, it's going to hurt, but the rewards are endless.
Well, and I think people can amplify one positive thing that they're doing and just accentuate it. I mean, if it's that morning coffee that you enjoy savoring so much that kicks off your day properly, enjoy it for another minute tomorrow. I mean, just savor that coffee, savor that moment, and reflect on what's going to be positive in the day ahead.
Oh yeah, because you're setting. It's a great starting point. Absolutely. You and I talk a lot about this on America's Newscape. The morning is the starting point of your thought process, and whatever you anchor in there. Now, as you move along in life, with the baby steps of change, this is not radical change. If you want radical change, that's great. Like what happened to me, it's going to hurt. But it's also the best thing in life. But if you like to take baby steps, as you mentioned, which is a great way of doing it as well, the morning coffee is the start of your day, the start of the peace of mind that you want to create in your life. You can only amplify that more with more ideas and thoughts and productivity to bring more of what you're bringing about in the morning. It's a great way of thinking.
Well, it takes us back to that old song: accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative.
Yeah, if you pick your poison. I mean, most people don't realize they're living in the negative, and they wonder why they're bringing so much negative. It's hard for people to realize that thoughts do become things. And when
Well,
you start getting conscious of what you're thinking consciously, you're thinking about what you're bringing daily.
well, you're right, Jerry, because we have whether we want to admit it or not, we have a finite amount of energy and we have a finite amount of thoughts. So let's actually take those and put them toward the
Well,
positive going forward.
because you can't hide. You can't hide from so-called, excuse me, the universe with your feelings. You may not be speaking what you're feeling, but you're feeling what you're feeling. Therefore, you're emitting what you're feeling in life. And this is what I couldn't get. I was on the outside, yeah, he looked great, but on the inside, he was a broken shell. And I kept bringing more broken shells, man. I didn't realize it was the pain. I just kept reattracting more pain. I didn't know how to anchor that morning coffee, that peace of mind many moons ago until I understand what that really meant. It's like planting a garden of your day and painting the canvas of the most beautiful painting you've always wanted to paint. You start with that starting point and you work your way up from there little by little.
Well, and to remind viewers, you utilize journaling and
Yes.
as a reflective measure of positivity going forward. I utilize notes that I've written the night before for my day ahead, And also, I experience the face in the mirror every morning, which is a total reflection of where I am and what I need to be doing for myself. Not for you,
which is even
Jerry.
more powerful. Do you realize that? What you're
Well,
doing is actually even more powerful than what I do in the morning, even though they're both powerful setups. But you've taken, and that's huge in spirituality, is saying what you want for the next day the night before. So basically, you're writing down what you want to do and thinking about it before you go to sleep. Subconsciously, you've anchored your next day to start being productive and thinking about what you're bringing about because you already set up your mind from the day before. It's a great way for certain people. Like I like the morning to anchor my day. You like the night before, and then you start sleeping. You start marinating on it, not even realizing you're thinking about it. And it's great because you wake up the next day productive. You know where you're going. You're not asking questions. You're being the answers.
what you're right, but I happened into it, Jerry, because it was my whole goal was to hit the ground running in the morning. I just want to hit that ground running, as much, eliminate as much needless effort as possible, so I could have a good day. And but that's what it's evolved into.
Well, being an athlete also helped you a lot as well. That prep, that constant prepping really anchored you to where you are now. It's things like that, that discipline, which is a great point. You're disciplined to set up to get ready for the big game, which is the next day. You know what I mean? And you set that up wholeheartedly as your ritual for life. Or journaling for me is I'm basically putting my thoughts to words, power to pen to paper, and creating that in my thought process. You're just doing it a different way. It's the same thing. It's awesome.
Well, people need to realize athletes have been trained to fail. We accept failure and try and rise above that going forward.
Yeah.
Spending way too much time on the baseball fields as you were an upper echelon athlete, you kept rising to a level of higher athletes, and pretty soon you were not the dominant athlete, and you needed to learn how to accept that moment in time. And anybody that's tried to hit a curveball realizes failure is something you're going to experience.
Mm. Well, to me, there is no failure. Failure is not an option, but a choice. You can learn from it or live by it. A lot of people, and it's so easy. I know it's so passe to say, you didn't fail. So what if you failed, meatball? Just like you do every day in learning to be an athlete. You got right back out there again, either in baby
Absolutely.
steps or you jumped in the pool. I mean, it just, as long as you're doing something towards it, you're going to accomplish it no matter what.
Well, you're exactly right, and that's the important thing to do something about that. Keep trying to move forward. And if you haven't
Yeah, absolutely.
hit the last 20 curveballs, hope to hit the next one.
Face your fears, or your fears are going to face you.
Exactly.
Whatever it might be. And you do it little by little, like you like to do in baby steps. Me, I just jump in the pool. I don't care, naked. I don't give a shit. I'm just going to
Well,
jump in and do what I got to do because that's just who I am. Our
well,
personality creates our personal reality. Whatever personality you are, you're creating that personal reality. And by you mentioning baby steps and peace and so forth, that's your mentality, which is fantastic. I'm the same way. I'm just at a third power, man.
to the third power of hieroglyphics. Well,
Absolutely.
you can always fall back on your hieroglyphics, and I
Yeah.
assume you are there. Have you done cave paintings in your residence somewhere? Is there a Jerry original somewhere?
Yeah. All over the walls are called holes, man, where I
Okay,
had all the pictures.
okay,
Yeah. So I got to patch them up before I buy my new place, man. I got a lot of spackle.
spackle. Well,
Yeah. For our younger people, we called that Bondo for
yeah,
our cars back then.
and for our con people, they called it toothpaste.
Yes. Great show, man. Great show.
All right, Jerry. Yeah, it was, and I think that's I would resolve for everybody to try and find some more happiness next year, and if they set out to do that, they will.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. I mean, the more the more authentic you are of yourself, and not following herd of others. Yeah, it might hurt a little bit. You might lose a few friends, but your friends aren't you. You've got to realize you are your own uniqueness. You are your own basically airplane taking off or crashing down. You pick your poison, whatever you want to have in life, and start living by that every day. However, in baby steps or jumping in full force, whatever your resolution or whatever you want to create, however way you do it is your way. But as long as you're doing something, you're going to create it your way.
I totally agree. And we're going to start calling you the master of metaphors.
Oh, Buddha Jer. There you go. We'll call
There
it
you
Buddha
go.
Jer.
All right. All right.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to everybody. Hey, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado, bringing you American Mentoring. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links are provided in this video, so read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.